Sir, I can't hear you. Did I unpause? Okay, so maybe leave the thing, leave the meeting, and then be right back here. Okay, so on this one, this is what I would do if I were you, Carly. You see this real quick? You see how that one's positive and that one's negative? That one's already positive and negative, so just multiply this one times 3. Make sense? Why is 3? Because when I multiply this times this, it gives me 3x positive. Multiply this times this, gives me 3y. But this is the reason, because it gives me the opposite of that one. Multiply here, it gives me 6. And just do the elimination method now, okay? Carly had said right now to go ahead and multiply by 4. When I multiply this one by 4, it's going to be positive, it's going to be positive. So you would multiply it by negative 4. Okay, but this one, you usually got to multiply by 3. Real easy, real easy. These cancel out, and I'm left with 7y is equal to 21. Divided by 7, divided by 7, we're going to go with y is equal to 3. How about y is equal to 3? For these two, I'm going to go to bring down that second one. I'm sorry, the first one. And I have x plus y is equal to 2. And we're going to plug that one in there. We're going to go with x plus 3 is equal to, 2. Yeah. We're going to minus 3. We're going to have cancel out here. X is equal to a negative 1. So final answer for this one would be a negative 1, 3. Okay, let's go ahead and try this one real quick. Number 8. Copy it down. While y'all are looking at that one, think about what would be a good approach. Which one do I want to get rid of and why? Okay, let me just, here's this one, guys. Multiply the top one by negative 5. Add these up, gives you that. Divide by 12. Sorry, I just forgot to copy it. Pause it, look at it, and see what we did. Okay, now let's think out loud about this one. Christopher, Leah, Diana, Carly, all of you. Which one do I get rid of and why? Sebastian, Isaac, what do y'all think? Okay, I'm gonna just make it harder for us, all right? X's. What would I make the X's go to? How about that? If I'm looking at the X's. Actually, I don't want to get rid of 1. We're gonna actually just look at them, all right? Let's just talk about it real quick. How would I get rid of these X's? Okay, I would make one a positive 4, one a negative 4. Does that make sense? You see what I'm getting at? That's how I would want to do that. What about the Y's? How would I get rid of the Y's? What would I want to make those equal to? Look at the numbers, a 5 and a 3. How would I get rid of the 15, right? I'd make one positive 15, one negative 15. You choose whichever you want. That's it. Why do I go for this one here and not this one? Why that one? Smaller. Okay, that's it. That's it. Perfect. I think you understand why we're doing that one. Okay, so we're going to make these a positive 4 and negative 4. Since this one, if you look at this one, that one can be a negative 4 and that one's a positive 4 if I just multiply by a negative 2. Let me just do that across. That will give me negative 4x. Multiply here, give me a negative 10y. Multiply here, negative 22. We have all this madness. Now we're going to add up these. Adding up here, these two. That one right there, cancel out. That gives me a negative 7y. That equals a negative 21 divided by negative 7 divided by negative 7. Cancel out here, we go with y is equal to 3. Not too bad. Whichever one you want. Whichever one you want. Plug it into either. Looking at the chat right now, do we plug this into the first one or do we plug it into the second one to figure out 3x? The bottom one, honestly, Carly, I was thinking the same thing. So we'll go 4x plus 3y is equal to 1. We're going to plug that one right there. So we're going to go 4x plus 3 times my now y is a 3, right? Equals to 1. 4x plus 9 is equal to 1. We're going to minus 9, minus 9. We're going to go with 4x is equal to a negative 8. Divided by 4, divided by 4, x equals to a negative 2. Okay, not too bad. Final answer for this one would be a negative 2, 3. Huge favor, guys. Start on this one. Which one would you multiply by something and why? If you can understand, or let me understand that you know how to do it by answering the why. I think the why is the one that gives me the, oh, okay, they know what to do. Why and which one would you change? Or which one and why? Negative 5, which one? Anybody? Try to put negative 5, negative 5. I don't know what that means. It's all good. Okay, guys, come on, somebody, anybody? Okay, I'm going to tell you this much. I would make the top one change. So these, well, they're okay. They can go to 15. This one here, if you look at the top one, if I multiply this one times a 2, it would give me a negative 6, be the opposite of this 6. Why? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Multiply by 2. The top one I distribute here would give me 6x. When I multiply here, negative 6y. Multiply here equals a negative 12. The bottom one would be a negative 5. Well, you know what? I'm just going to work on it right there. Add those up. This gives me an x. This cancels out, equals 0. Man, that one was like super easy. That was like a joke. Did I do the work right? 6x, 6y, 12. This gives me x. Those cancel out. And give me. Looks good. Sometimes it's just too easy. I'll plug it into the first one. So I want to go with 3x minus 3y is equal to a negative 6. And that one I'm going to do right here when x is equal to 0. So that basically becomes 3 times 0, right? Which is 0. It just jumps off the face of the earth. So I'm going to have a negative 3y is equal to a negative 6. Divide by a negative 3. Divide by a negative 3. We're going to go with the y is equal to a 2. Final answer for this one would be 0, 2. What do y'all think about that? That was like too easy. Talk to me, guys and girls. What do y'all think? Somebody left. Who was it that left? Samantha. Carly, did you text Valeria? Did you text Vivi? Text her because she always thinks it's like a 3. I don't know what's wrong with that girl. Okay, guys. Any questions there? No? Okay, so I'm going to go. Let's go to the harder ones. Are y'all ready or not? All right, like it. So 17 and 18 are the harder ones here. Then we'll go down to a fraction one. To one that's super mega scary fraction styles. Okay, let's look at this one, this one. Okay, 17. Which one and why? Which one do I change and why? Yeah, that's my trick. That's what I would do. You can multiply this one times a negative 2, right? And that would give you a negative 12x. That works. If I were to multiply the second one by a 3, then that becomes a 3y, right? And those are opposite. I think that's what I would have. That's what I would do. Because that one's already positive, that one's already negative. Just multiply this one times 3. So the second one becomes distribute here, 18x. Distribute here gives me 3y. Distribute here gives me 3. Okay, the first one is that now. I'm going to bring that first one right below it. So I have 12x minus 3y is equal to a negative 3. Now, I'll just add this up, elimination style method. These cancel out. And I'll, what is that, 30x equals 0. That works. Okay. Divide by 30. Divide by 30. X is equal to 0. Again, pretty cool. That was too easy. So next thing, we're going to come out here and get the 0, x to be 0, and plug it into, I would do the bottom one. Oh, that one's super easy. You see, you're going to have 6x plus y is equal to 1. I'm going to get this one right here and go 6 times a 0 plus a y is equal to 1. Cancels out, just drops off. You're going to have y is equal to 1. So the final where they cross is 0, 1. Okay, try the next one. I think this is 18, right? Yeah, try 18, guys. Let's try 18. Okay, which one would I multiply and why would I multiply? Anybody? Why would you multiply that one? And what's the deal? What's going on? Talk to me. Anybody? So if you approach it the way I've been approaching it, this would be going to a negative 40 right on top and a positive 40 on the bottom. I think that's too big. Why can't they make these 6's? Make one 6y and another negative 6y. You know what? I want to make the top one a negative 6y and the bottom one a positive 6y. Why not these? Because these are too big. I can do it. I think it's better with smaller numbers. This would cancel out, right? These would cancel out. Well, if I can get these to cancel out, smaller numbers, boom, do it to it. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to make that one the negative, right? So I'm going to multiply that one by a negative 3. This one I'd multiply by a positive 2. So let me come out here to the right. Multiply here to here, it gives me a positive 12x. Multiply here to here, it gives me a negative 6y. Let me see, negative 6y, and then last one, negative times a 0, 0. That works out, looks good. This time this gives me 20x. This time this gives me a positive 6y. This time this gives me 16. This gives me 32x. These cancel out, is equal to 16. We're going to divide by 32. Divide by 32. And we're going to go with x is equal to 1/2. That's not too bad. Not too bad there. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to get this one and plug it in. Where do I plug it in, guys and girls? To the top one? All right, I like that, Carly. I like that top one too because it's a little smaller number-wise. Number negative 4x plus 2y is equal to 0. We're going to be x to be a half. Put it right there. So we're going to have a negative 4 times a half plus 2y is equal to 0. You see this right here? This says, give me half of a negative 4. What's half of a negative 4? Thank you so much, Christopher. Plus 2y is equal to 0. We're going to add 2. Add 2. These cancel out. We're going to go with 2y is equal to 2. Divided by 2. Divided by 2. We're going to go with y is equal to 1. And so we have final answer. We're going to go with x to be a half and y to be 1. That works good. Geez, it looks scary, but it wasn't that scary after all. Thank God. Okay, let's go ahead and try another one. Let's try again. Remember I said those are harder as they come along. Those are pretty easy. All right. Which ones do y'all want to try? Y'all better have a calculator ready too. Yo, Christopher, which one? 21, 22, 23, 24. I agree, brother. I agree. Okay, let's go 23. Okay. So what I don't like about 23, I'm telling you this from the very get-go. I don't like, well, I'm not afraid of them, but just for you guys, I don't like the fractions, okay? So there's several things you can do. You can kind of angle it any way you want. If you're good at fractions, do it to it. If you're not good at fractions, oh, great. You got it? So, I'm looking at halves. You see halves? And you see that 4? How many halves make up a 4? Think about that one. What's up, Jada? How many halves make up 4? Well, if you think about that, there's 4, right? Okay, yeah, there's 4 complete things. Cut them in halves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So does that make sense? Since these are the smaller numbers I'm thinking, or these? Ooh, it's the same thing, right? Okay, so I would think about this, and then I would multiply by 8. Let's look at these over here. How many fourths make up how many fourths make up a 1? Here's 3, right? But a fourth, how many fourths are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Or I can multiply by 12 here. If I multiply by 12 here, I would get 3. But if I multiply by negative 12, I would get a negative 3 here, and they would cancel out here. Looking at this right here, if I were to multiply this one by an 8, I would get a 4. But if I multiply by a negative 8, I would get a negative 4 here, and those would cancel out. So in this situation, you choose which ones you want. Now, is there a way around this? What if I just multiply by 4 and get rid of all the fractions? You see what I'm getting at? If you multiply by 4 and just get rid of all the fractions, this becomes, the top one becomes x, this one becomes 16y, and this one is what? 8, 19. This one becomes 11. On the bottom one here, if I were to multiply by, what, 4 here, that one becomes 12x. That becomes 2y. And that one becomes, what, 36, 37. But guess what you need to do now? Convert one of these. Oops, my bad. Convert one of these to a fraction. To an opposite. So you could look at it as halves. You can look at it as fourths. Convert it from the very beginning, or you can convert these to whole numbers and then work from here. What do y'all want to do, guys? Do y'all want to multiply with fractions, or do you want to convert it to these numbers here and then work from here? A would be using the fractions. B would convert them to whole numbers by multiplying. B? Okay. So let me explain to you everything I did from the beginning. I look at the denominator. So guess what I'm going to multiply here? I'll multiply this one by 4. Do you see what I'm saying there? Did you see that? Why did I multiply by 4? Because this one is divisible by 4. This one's divisible by 4. Slash, look what happens. When I distribute here times here, I get 4. I'm going to write it down. Take the long way. Times 1/4 x. Here times here gives me 4 times 6. 4 times 4y. I multiply here times here, I get 4 times 2 and 3/4. When I multiply here, I multiply top times top, guys, which is 4 times 1, which is 4, which is 4 over 4, which is also known as what? 1x, which becomes x, you're right? When I multiply here, that gives me 16y. When I do this part right here, I'm going to have 2 3/4, right? I'm going to convert this into a mixed improper fraction. Multiply here times here, keeping the 4 on the bottom. That gives me 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so this becomes 4 times 11, 44. 44 divided by 4. Again, this one becomes 44 divided by 4, 11. Okay, not too bad, right? Cleans up real nice and sweet because of the denominator. What do I multiply the second one by? What do I multiply this one by? Somebody. Christopher, you want to multiply by the bigger one. Okay? Because if I multiply by 2, these would cancel out, yes. But here, that would go down to halves. So you would be left over with halves. You need to know how to use fractions really well. So find these two, a common denominator, slash 4. Okay? Let me give you another example. Say this one was 12 and 4. Which one would I multiply by now? If this is 12 and this is 4, what would I multiply out here by? Well, okay. Now I give you another example. Say this is, hear me, this is 3 and 4. What do I multiply by now? What do I multiply by? You got to see it. It's a common denominator. 12. It's it's what they have in common. It's like, what number can these two both divide? You know what I mean? I'm not going to say the greatest common denominator. I think it's the least common denominator. The one that they both go into the smallest, if that makes sense. Because they can still go into 24. They can go into 48. They can go into, and you see bigger numbers. But we don't want to use a great one. We want to use the least common denominator. Okay? So let me give you another one. What if I were to give you 2 and 3? 2 and 3. What number would I multiply by? If I had a 2 and a 3, to get rid of all the fractions, what number would I multiply by? Six, because 6 divided by 2 is a 3, a nice number. 6 divided by 3, 2, very nice number. And we give another one. What if I were to have 2 and 5? What number would I multiply now by? Anybody? Come on. I look like I scared you guys. What would I multiply by? A half and 1/5. Ready? You would do multiply by a 10. Because you'd have 10 divided by 2 gives you 5, and 10 divided by 5 gives you 2. You want it where it gives you a nice whole number. Okay, let me come back to this one now. Now I have a 2 and a 4. So I would multiply by the least common multiple, lowest common denominator, which would be 4. So when I multiply this one times this one, it gives me a 12x. When I multiply this one times this one, it gives me, well, I should have done it somewhere else, but it's going to give me this. And 4 times a 1/2 y. And when I multiply this one times this one here, I'm going to have 4 times a 9 1/4. So that's about, looks good. And honestly, it looks really good. Because I can get half of 4, right? Which is 2. So this one right here gives me 12x. This one gives me half of 4, which is 2y. You know what I'm having problems with is this one here. I need to convert this one, 9 1/4, into mixed improper fraction. 4 times 9 is 36 plus 1, 37 over 4, all right? 36, 37, yeah. So then this becomes 37 over 4. Now I'm going to tell you this much. You don't have to do much math here, because when I multiply by 37 times 4, and then I divide by 4, it just gives me 37. So there it is. So here are my two new numbers that I would use, or my two new equations I would use. So then I would have x plus 16y is equal to 11. And then I have here 12x plus 2y is equal to 37. Now let's pick a piece. Which one do you want to make look like the other one? If I multiply this one by something, try to make this one look like that one. So I'd multiply this one by a negative 12, right? If I were to multiply something times this one, I would multiply something times this one to make it a negative 16. You see what I'm saying? That's what kind of approach do you want to take it as. Why get rid of these? Because you feel like it. Why get rid of these? Because you feel like it. You choose, you be confident in your decision, and you go with it. So which ones do we work with? Do we get rid of the x's, or do we get rid of the y's? Come on. Which one? The y's? Okay. So I'm going to look at this one. Since this is a smaller y value down here, I'm going to multiply this one by a negative 8. All right. When I multiply this one, I have a negative 8. Ooh, man, look at that number. This times this gives me negative 96x. I multiply this times this gives me a negative 16y. And this times this gives me, man, I can't even do that one. Sorry, I need to take a time to get my phone. 27, oh no, 37, my bad already. Times a negative 8 gives me a negative 296. A negative 296. Okay, so that's this one, right? I'm going to bring down this one in red right below it, and I'm going to have an x plus 16y is equal to 11. Add this up. These cancel out on purpose. Cancel up on purpose. I'm left with a negative 95. X is equal to this 6 minus 1, 5, 8, 2, negative. So now this one right here, I'm going to divide by a negative 95, divide by a negative 95. These cancel out. X is equal to, I'm going to say 3. Yes, it gives me 3. So in this situation, x is 3. So now I'm going to come back. Okay, now please pay attention to what I'm going to do here. I'm going to scroll all the way up. I'm going to mark all my equations with the green dots. That one, and then we have this one here, and this one here. Now, remember right now we got x equals to 3. Which one do I plug it into of these four? Which one do you plug it into? I can say we have A, and then this is A prime. This is B, this is B prime. So A and A prime are basically the same. One has been done, like something has been done to it. So for this one, A prime, or I'm sorry, A up here, I multiplied that one times 4, and it gave me A prime. So this is the exact same thing as that one, but something has been done to it. B prime is right here. B is this one. When I multiply B times 4, it gives me B prime. Okay? It's like a variation of that one, of that A or B. All right? Knowing that these look smaller, I'm going to get this and plug it into here. All right? So I have x plus 16y is equal to 11. This one I want to plug it in right there when I have 3 is equal to, 3 plus 16y is equal to 11. Minus 3, we're going to have 16y is equal to 8. Divide by 16, we're going to have y is equal to 1/2. Boom! Mic drop. What do y'all think, guys? Yes, no, maybe so, más o menos? Okay, what did y'all think about this last one? 23. Yes, no, come on. Give me something on the chat. Okay, I want to tell you this much. If you understood this, freaking awesome. What I'm getting at is the STAR test should be a joke for you. Like you should be getting 100 in the STAR test. If you did not understand it, don't worry about it because the STAR test is way easier than it. The stuff, Sebastian, I'll give you on Alex is going to be harder than the STAR test. And don't worry, I gave you one of these today. Hopefully you all survived. Hopefully you survived. Did everybody get 100 on this one? Okay, do y'all want to try one more or do y'all want to call it quits? Look at 24. I'm looking at 24. I'm thinking, man, I think we can do it. What do y'all think? We do it? Hey, Carly. Yeah. That's the way we do it, sister. Let's do it. I like it. Okay, let's look at 24. Copy it down. I'm getting everything out of the way. Right now, I kind of ran out of room, so I move that up. I move it to the left. All right, I think that'll work. Okay. So, what do I do on this one? And why? What do I multiply? Okay, I think Carly said right now, let's get rid of the fractions. Right, Carly? You didn't like working with the fractions? What do I multiply this one by to get rid of the fractions? Somebody please save me. Thank you so much, Christopher, by 5. You should know this already. This gives me 2x. What's up? Yeah, and we're going to multiply by what on the bottom one? What are we going to multiply? By 2, yeah. The bottom one by 2, top one by 5. Now, you can approach it any way you want, all right? I'm not afraid of fractions. I'm not lying to you. I'm not afraid of them at all. To get rid of this one already, multiply, you know what? We'll just do it this way. We won't do too many things at once. Okay, top one. Let's finish it up, right? 2x. Gives me 2x checks. 5 times that one, 30y. 5 times this one. Ooh, whoa. What is that one going to give me? Do y'all know what that one gives me or not? It gives me a freaking huge number. So I'm going to go 24 1/5. I'm going to multiply here, multiply, and then add here. That gives me 121 over 5. Does that make sense? You're cool with that one? I'm curious, guys. Y'all better be on your toes. Snap out of it. Ready? When I multiply this one times 5, what's my answer automatically? Does anybody know already? Has anybody seen the pattern already? What happens when I multiply this times this? Ready? 121. And that's why I choose. That's why I choose the 5, because they cancel out. Okay? The bottom one now. Let's look at the bottom one. 2 times this gives me 6x. 2 times this one gives me just y. 2 times this one. Well, you see that part right there? I need to come over here and fix that. 3½ equals 6 7/2. Do you agree? Okay, so then I'm going to have 7/2 times 2. All right, and I'm multiplying this one times 2. What does that give me? 7. All right, all right. Hey, wait, Christopher, where's that 4 from, brother? You solved it already or what? Where'd you get the 4? Am I wrong somewhere, or you're ahead of us? 20. Oh, okay. 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 All right. So you were wrong, right? I'm not saying I'm happy you're wrong, but I'm happy that you were wrong because I was like, where does that 4 go in? I'm not happy you're wrong, but I'm sure that's right. All right, we're moving on. Dang it. 7 times 2 gives me that 1/2. Okay, I think the math looks good. Which one do I get rid of now? Now I am here, guys. Don't ever look back at these anymore, okay? Which ones do I get to cancel? Or which ones do I make cancel? Which ones do I want to make cancel? It's not a nice question, right? This one. 30? Okay. So she's saying, Carly said, let's get rid of the y's, all right? So we're going to multiply this one times, I'm going to go, Carly, a negative 30, all right? You could have multiplied this one by a negative 3. Cancel these out. Carly wants to get rid of the y's, so she's going to multiply by a negative 30. So it can be positive 30 and negative 30. Down here, this gives me a negative 180. Yeah, all right. This one gives me a negative 30y. This one here, negative 210. Wow. All right. Okay. Not too bad. I don't even know why I wrote in that color. Now I'm going to add these two up. Oh, wait, no, not those two. That's that one. I'm going to bring this one down here. 2x plus 30y is equal to 121. Okay. Purposely, these canceled out. Over here, this gives me negative 178x is equal to, oh, great, I can't do this in my head. Yes, I need a calculator, guys. It's that time of the day. Okay, so forgive me, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of myself, but that's just the way it goes right now. Boom, 89. Okay, so now I want to come out here and divide by 178. Divide by 178. And then you'll never guess what this gives me here. What does this give me here? Anybody know what that gives me? Something scary. Negative half. Woo! Hey, it looks scary, but it's not even that bad. This thing kind of all cleans up really sweet. So now I'm going to get this one. I'll plug it into, if y'all don't mind, I like these numbers. They're a little small. So I'm going to have 6x plus y is equal to 7. Right here, I'm going to plug in this part for my x right there. So then I'd have 6 times a negative 1/2 plus a y is equal to 7. This here gives me a negative 3 plus y is equal to 7. add 3, y is equal to 10. Final answer, negative half, 10. Boom! Okay, on that one now,